I get here 2 hours early and still barely get on time. Oh goodness. Let me get this arranged here. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. I got some Sharpie marker on my finger there this morning. Don't want to transfer that to anything, so I just wipe my hands off before I get started, so that I know I'm not going to transfer paint on something I don't want it on. Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Finishing Work. All right. Let me toss this. I missed the trash can. You know what? We're bringing the trash can. I always forget to grab it. We're bringing the trash can over. Oh. Hey, what's up, Angry Peck? Glad to have you. Glad you made it. Got to melt off the ends of this paracord here. And then I will start finishing stuff up. Sorry, the first couple minutes of the boring part. I gotta cut off the ends of this paracord to make sure that it doesn't fray off on the ends. Everybody hear me okay? Been using a new mic recently, so I'm not sure if the sound is working right sometimes. So if you can't hear me or if it sounds weird, let me know. Awesome. Thanks, Agri. All right, there we go. Clean off my scissors here. Try not to cut myself while I do it. Those are sewing scissors and they are sharp as fuck. Crap, I'm trying hard not to use the F word. I'm not succeeding well at all. These are hickory Uwara, some 8-inch ones. I've got some 6-inch hickory already up on the shop. So I figured I had this cut off that was 8 inches, and 8 inches is a good length for a slightly longer Uwara. So and probably after this year, I'm going to start phasing most of my Uwara out. There are a few kinds I'm going to keep. I'll probably make them a little less often, especially the exotic wood ones, because exotic wood's about to get way more expensive, folks. The price of fuel has gone up quite a bit, and so exotic, I was looking at some of my vendors, and the exotic wood prices are already gone up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to buy more before it becomes cost prohibitive, but we're going to find out. Yes, it is. It is fucking hard to stop saying fuck. It's very difficult. Fuck, I just said fuck. It is very difficult to stop it. I've gotten better. I was in the Marine Corps for quite a long time, and in that period of my life, I used that word way too often. To the point where the time I got out of the Marine Corps, it seems like it was like I started and stopped almost every sentence with that word. So I worked really hard to stop saying it, and then in recent years, I don't know why, but I uh, seem to have fallen back into the habit. I think it might have something to do with just the state of the world in general. All right, that one is done. All right. Hey, what's up, Grant Bam? Yeah, I do. I remember you. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate it. All right. Let me go put these in the finished area. And you know what? While I'm over here, I got some stuff I need to wipe down real quick. Let me go ahead and do that while I'm thinking of it. This one. Yeah, that one's good. All right. This is a Ipe Pahoa dagger. That's going to get a wrist loop. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to leave these over here for now. They are still pretty tacky. So, I'll probably do these when I finish this other stuff. They probably need about 15, 20 more minutes so that they've dried enough that I'm not going to put fingerprints in them when I touch them. All right. Whew. On mythology and bear, am I an expert? I would say so. I've published about 15 books on mythological subjects. So yeah, I am. I don't talk about it a whole lot on this channel just because I do mostly my shop on here. But yeah, I have a master's degree in English with a focus in world mythology and a secondary focus in demons specifically. I wrote my thesis on Lilith, the character of Lilith in mythology. But yeah, I am an expert on mythology and fairy tales. Yes. Usually, each year I do lectures at Tampa Comic Con. This year I won't be, unfortunately. I had to kind of make the decision finally to not do Tampa Comic Con this year. I just can't afford it. All right, Grant Bam, take care. Thanks for the 6-7. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take care, Grant Bam. Well, I agree. You got a question? You got a mythology question for me? Or a fairy tale question? But yeah, I publish under the name Nathan Robert Brown because there are multiple Nathan Browns, one of whom is a Christian author, and he got really upset because one of my books came out under my name, Nathan Brown, and people thought that he wrote it, and people were very upset because there were some things in there that weren't real flattering of the church, and so he was very upset with me. So he told me if I don't start publishing under a different name, he was going to sue me. That was very early on in my career, so I decided to just use my full name, Nathan Robert Brown, as my publishing name. But I have written, let's see, I wrote a bunch of complete idiots guides: zombies, werewolves, the supernatural. I wrote the Idiot's Guide to World Mythology. I wrote the Mythology of Grimm, the Mythology of Supernatural. Uh, I've been the lead writer consultant on a series of mythology-based encyclopedias for DK Publishing. We just have been doing those over the last 3 years. First, we did supernatural creatures. Then we did legendary heroes, and we just got done with the third one, the unknown. That one should publish later this year. What mythology creatures do I believe might have actually existed? Well, that's a weird question. So, like, when it comes to supernatural creatures, the line between an animal and a monster really has to do with familiarity, right? So, like, I think a lot of mythological creatures existed. I just don't think they looked like what we think they looked like. What you got to remember is back then they didn't have cameras. So, a lot of times someone would see an animal they hadn't seen before, and the only frame of reference they had, right, were animals that they had seen before. So, they would describe it in relation to animals they had seen. And so, when someone would draw it later, they would have those descriptions were the only thing they had to work from. So you ended up with weird pictures of these monsters that were probably just normal animals that seemed like monsters because no one had ever seen them before. Think about it like this: like if you had never seen an alligator or a crocodile, and you had nothing like that where you were from, and you ran into an alligator or a crocodile, how would you describe it? And they would describe it as like a lizard with a horse's head or something like that. It's just a weird way to describe it, but they didn't really have any other frame of reference. Um, but like I believe that dragons to a degree existed, but I don't think they were dragons. I think they were most likely alligators, Komodo dragons, crocodiles, you know. And I also think some of the dragon lore came from just finding skulls of either dinosaurs or elephants or other strange skulls of large animals. You know, like the Leviathan, for example, is a good one. Like the Leviathan is like a gigantic beast, demon king in the ocean, and most likely they were just seeing whales, and more specifically whale penises, sticking up out of the water during mating times, and would, your eyes are trying to make sense of what you're seeing, and instead of realizing what they're seeing is a bunch of different animals kind of all intertwined together with stuff sticking out of the water, they think it's one gigantic animal, and you end up with tales of stuff like the Leviathan and the Kraken and stuff like that. But I think all mythological, it's funny, there are some mythological creatures that we thought were myths that turned out to be real, like the frilled shark, which is a Japanese shark, or a shark that's common in waters around Japan. The frilled shark, for a long time, they thought that wasn't a real animal because they'd seen it in Japanese bestiaries, and it looked really weird, and they thought that can't be a real thing. And then I think they had a tidal wave at one point, and it got washed up ashore. One of them got washed up ashore. That they exist only in really deep water, so you don't see them very often. And it turned out the frilled shark actually was a real thing. Yeah, I think it's possible that some prehistoric animals lived longer than we realized. Probably not gigantic dinosaurs, but smaller ones. I think, like more around like you know ostrich-sized ones, terror birds, things like that could have lived far longer. But that's possible. Some dinosaur that managed to live longer than we thought. So this is a blowgun, and I was going to make darts this week, but I had a little trouble. I need pillow stuffing to make these darts, and I realized I don't have pillow stuffing. I thought I had a bunch of it, but I don't. So we may have to work on this blowgun next week. Uh, the blowgun part is finished. As far as the bamboo is concerned, I'm going to do a little leather and cord wrap on it, and then make the darts. But I think I will save that for next week since I'm gonna have to make the darts next week anyway. Let's see, do I have anything else I need to wrap with this? No. Okay. Done with the white cord. But a lot of mythological creatures, like one thing you'll notice when you read myths, when it comes to mythological creatures, very often those creatures don't live in the country that's writing about them. They'll say, it lives like in a far off land. Like for example, Egypt. Like if you're Greek, you're writing about a monster that you saw in Egypt or Persia or something like that. Like the Greeks wrote about, and the Romans wrote about the phoenix, for example, which they claim was a bird in Persia. And uh, I personally think that the phoenix was just like a practical joke that the Persians played on the Greeks or the Romans, but I don't know. It's weird. All right, so this is the longest messer waster that I made a couple weeks ago. It's sold, but the person who bought it wants it to have a blood red handle wrap. Hey, what's up, Shozy? So, Shozy, just a heads up, a lot of times I can't see emoji, so I have no idea what that emoji is. All I see is the word them and a weird like kanji emoji or kanji symbol next to it. I don't know why it does that. But welcome, Shozy. It's always good to have you. We're going to cord wrap up this longest messer waster, and then this is going to go. This is the same client that bought the Plants vs. Zombies spearheads, and she also bought. Okay, that's not good. She also bought the candy cane vampire steaks a while back. I've been holding on to those for a while. So these are all finally going to get shipped on Monday, I think. I hope. Same with the Leonardo swords. Those are finally done. So, oh my God, stop slipping. Okay, we may have to put some hockey tape on this so that the cord has something to grip. It's what I get for sanding it so well, right? So it's sanded and tongue oiled, so it's super smooth. A sap to hardwood line where? Oh, here? No, that's just it's a weird mark in the wood. I think sometimes when there's like a forest fire or different kinds of trauma happen to the tree, you get these weird little marks in the wood. But no, it's not. It's just a weird thing in the wood grain. Somehow that little part there, but you can see the wood grain. If there's no separation between that mark and the wood grain, it's two separate things. So it just looks like some weird, there was the tree probably got burned at some point, and this is where it grew back over the part that was burned, and you ended up with a weird, almost like a scar tissue. You see that sometimes on different kinds of woods. Oh yeah, hockey tape. Oh, there's the hockey tape. Right in front of me, of course. AgriPeck, you can contact me for custom orders. You can go to my Instagram. You can go on eBay. If you go to my eBay store, just go to any of my listings, and there's there always is a button to contact the seller. So you just go to eBay, look at one of my listings, click the contact seller button, and that will send me a message. Or you can go to my Instagram and send me a message, which is NATRBROWN37. Or you can go to TikTok, which is also Warrior Wooden Props is also on TikTok. So you can go to TikTok. Pretty much just send me a message any way, shape, or form, or you can send me an email. natrbrown37 at Gmail, natrbrown37 at Gmail. All of my, I'm always natrbrown37. So like that's a pretty easy way to find me, is just use that either at Gmail or Instagram. And you can easily find me that way. So yeah, if you want a custom, just send me a message on eBay or social media and I'll get you taken care of. Yeah, I have no idea. There it shows you. I don't know. This one's white ash, uh, which I'm not like I'm familiar with it as far as woodworking is concerned, but as far as its like growth and attributes and things like that, I'm not super familiar. I know it's a very endangered wood right now. So because of the emerald ash borer, so I only get it when I can get it ethically, which is not very often, which is why I am now out of white ash. All the white ash that I bought from my vendor last year, I've used all of it. So what you see on the shop, if it's made of white ash, that's it. That's what's up. I probably won't get more until, you know, one of my vendors has a situation where someone has a downed ash tree and allows them to harvest it. So yeah, there's some on my shop that's made out of white ash and you want it, like just know it's, once that sells, that's gone. Like there's not going to be a replacement. And what since I do my no break guarantee, if you have something that's white ash and it breaks, you will get replacements, but they won't be made out of white ash. They'll be made out of either most likely out of either hickory or oak. But they will still be free of charge. As always, and honestly, all this white ash is so it's all the bleached kind for the most part, which isn't the stronger part of white ash. So, you know, it tends to have about the same strength, to be honest, as oak. And unfortunately for me, the last piece that I had left of this white ash, uh, the grain configuration on it was really bad. So I could only really make short stuff out of it. I couldn't make anything long out of the last board that I had because it would break because the grain, there was too much cross grain. I'm not even sure if this one's going to be okay because there's so much cross grain on this, but I kept it short. Uh, and most of the cross grain is closer to the handle, so I don't think it's going to cause issues, but you never know. But if it does, no worries. I will end up replacing it for free. Because everything I sell has a no break guarantee. If it's made out of a domestic wood like ash, oak, or hickory, it's guaranteed up to a year. If it's made out of something super strong like Kumru or Ipe, it is guaranteed up to 5 years. Not to break on you. Under normal use. Like if you decide you're gonna go ham on a telephone pole uh, and you break it, that's not gonna be covered. There's not a waster or broken on this planet that's gonna stand up to something like that. But in the last 4 years or so that I've had this shop, I've only had to do that twice. So, and the first time was definitely user error. The second time, they were just, they were just going a little too hard, and they even admitted they were going too hard. But I guarantee my stuff, so it broke, and I replaced it. I'll leave these a little longer. Am I working on a book now? Not at the moment. I just finished the review process for the unknown or the unexplained. I can never remember if it's the unknown or unexplained. It's like it's like an illustrated encyclopedia for readers 8 to 14. It's about kind of unsolved mysteries kind of stuff. I just finished that one. I have probably got, like those kind of books are not that big a deal. They're more like, because it's mostly just writing small descriptions, fact checking, making sure that the photos that they're using are and the illustrations they're using are accurate, stuff like that. So, but as far as like writing a book, I haven't done that in a few years. Just honestly, I'm so freaking busy. I don't really have time to do like sit down and write. Uh, but I think I got probably one or two more books in me as far as like actual books. I have a book I've wanted to write for quite some time. I just really need to find a period in life where I have the time to sit down and write it. It's called The Mythology Problem, and it is basically like, as a mythologist, I love mythology very much. However, I also feel that humans on a whole, due to misunderstandings about mythology and what it is, we are causing societal problems due to our misunderstandings of mythology, and trying to address those misunderstandings and maybe help people understand that you don't have to uh, go to war over mythology, which people are doing. Wait, Shozy, what about an you mean adamantium beacon? I don't know what that is. I would have to look that up. And my phone is what I'm filming on, so I don't know what that is. What is an adamantium beacon? I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to give me more information there, Shozy. All right. This up. Oh, those are still tacky, huh? Well, I guess we're gonna work on. We might as well give these nunchucks a shot here. Let me get my black paracord. So, Martial Arts Theater 3000 is a buddy of mine. He has a really cool channel here on YouTube. I highly recommend checking it out. If you like old school kung fu movies, like Venom mob stuff, old school Hong Kong, like this guy, my guy, Mystery Science or Mystery Science, Martial Arts Theater 3000. He knows everything about that stuff, and he has some really cool, informative videos on, like old school kung fu movies, where you can find them, where you can watch them. What's worth watching, what's not. He's really good. Highly recommend checking him out. But he had asked me quite a while ago if I could make a set of custom nunchucks for him. He wanted corded chucks. I had not done corded chucks in quite a while, and I think I've only ever done them once in my entire life, and that was a long time ago. So I went to make a set for him this week, and it didn't quite work. So I had some issues when I went to taper it. The holes that I drilled are really close to the edge here, so I'm not entirely sure if they're going to work. And now I gotta get some tweezers here. Oh, the Wolverine metal boken. I mean, if I could get my hands on adamantium. Come on. Yeah, if I could get my hands on some adamantium, I'd love to make a boken out of it. Are you kidding? Kumaru's about the closest thing I've got. That's a 3,700 pound force on that stuff, which is pretty impressive. All right, come on, you little bastard. All right, we're gonna try something different. This is taking too long. Where did I put that white cord? Oh, there it is. All right, we're gonna try a different trick here. Sorry, I know that's gross, but I don't have time to do anything else. All right. Well, I can find the end of this cord. There we go. I'm busy with a lot of businesses or work. This is my only business. I run Warrior Wood and Props. This is my passion thing here, I guess you could say. I also work during the week for a company called Artistic Illusions. I am an artist apprentice and shop foreman for that shop. We do custom home renovations type stuff. Uh, Floors, countertops, faux finishes, things like that. Furniture restoration, that kind of stuff. And then I also write books once in a while when a publisher gives me a contract. Doesn't happen all the time. Oh, come on, get in there. Come on, you. Oh, I really thought this was a good idea. This this cord is too thick. Shit. All right, so I got to use something thinner. What have I got that's thinner? I know what I got that's thinner. I just hate to use it. Oh, come on, get off there. Oh, this is turning out to be more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Oh my god, let go. There we go. All right. I do have some faux sinew here. That's pretty thin. That will probably pull it through. But I'm always busy there, Egry Peck. I work almost every day. I've been trying really hard to make myself not work on Saturdays because I'm kind of worried I'm going to burn out. So trying not to work too much, but I work almost every day. I get up at god damn it. I get up at about 4:30 a.m. every day. I come to my shop, I work for about 2 to 3 hours. Then at 7:30 I go across the hall and I start my day job. I work that until about 3:30 to 4, somewhere around there. Then I come back to my shop. If I have any good god damn it. If I have any orders for that day, I pack those to ship the next morning. And yeah, I get up the next day and repeat the process. All right. Hold your breath, everybody. Let's see if this works. Oh god damn it. You know what? Let's see. Do I have smaller tweezers? Yes, I do. Aha! All right, let's try these. Oh fuck. So I drilled smaller holes this time to try to help with the taper. But I don't know that I can grab hold of these. Son of a bitch. This is a problem, people. All right. Fuck. All right. So I'm going to say these smaller holes are not going to work. Back to the drawing board on these, it looks like. Well, that sucks. I have to figure out what to do with these later. God damn it, I hate when that happens. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it shows you 4:30 a.m. is way too freaking early to wake up, but I do it all the time. I was up at 5 a.m. today so I could get over here. I had a bunch of orders I needed to pack up. I had a finished works video I had to do for those Leonardo katana. And then I had to get all of this stuff prepared for finishing work before 7:30. So yeah. So I was like, I got here at like 5:30 this morning and still barely got on time. Do I believe demons are real, Egri Peck? That is a loaded. That's a very difficult question to answer, to be honest with you. So I believe there are some supernatural forces that exist. I believe some of them are positive in nature, some of them are negative in nature. I don't know that I believe in demons in the Judeo-Christian sense. Like that's a different can of worms. I don't, because here's my issue with demons is the line between a god and a demon is pretty thin, in the sense that a lot of things that we know and call demons, right, were pre-existing. There were gods in pre-existing religions that were replaced by the religions of a conquering civilization. You know, when you, stuff like Lucifer, for example, is a great example of that. Before the Semitic groups became monotheistic, they had a lot of different religions. You had tree gods and sun gods and things like that nature. Lucifer means light bringer, right? Morning star. That he was most likely a sun god. That when the Semitic tribes started becoming monotheistic, they demonized the pre-existing gods, stuff like Belial. You know, a lot of these uh, uh, pre-existing gods got turned into demons, and you see that a lot throughout mythology. Honestly, if you look at, like, for example, Zoroastrianism and Hinduism, they had a whole little rivalry going on for like a long time. So, like, the word for demons in Zoroastrianism and the word for angels in Zoroastrianism uh, are the words for are reversed with Hinduism. So, like, you have devas in Zoroastrianism as demons, but devas in Hinduism are good. And then you have asuras, which are angels in Zoroastrianism, and asuras that are demons in Hinduism. So, like, or yeah, they get that, yeah, that are demons. So, like, the angels in Zoroastrianism became demons in Hinduism, and the demons in Hinduism became angels in Zoroastrianism. So it's kind of like each religion was trying to say the other religion was false, and that their angels were actually demons, and vice versa. And so you see stuff like that throughout mythology. I call it my god can beat up your god. That tends to happen when a civilization conquers another civilization. They replace their religion. Yes, it will. They're what stuff do I mean? Real Peter, yeah. Peter, I yeah, that kind of schedule will definitely burn me out. It will. That's why I'm trying really hard to take my Saturdays off. Like, it's been difficult for me because, like, the last 2 or 3 weeks have been my first weeks where I haven't done any work on Saturdays. And so, like, I wake up, my body, I slept until 6:30 a.m. yesterday, which I never do. It was awesome. But my body tried to wake me up at like 5:30, and I was able to get back to sleep. But like, yeah, I need days off for sure. Like, I've been doing the 7 days a week thing for about a year and a half, and it definitely started to catch up with me. So I'm trying my best now to not do that because yeah, burnout is real. and I don't want to burn out on something that I actually love doing, which I love like so up until September, right? I actually was a marketing copywriter. That was my day job. Made a lot of money doing that. I was very good at it. Um, then the company I was working for made using their AI system a condition of my employment, and I used it for about 2 years, asking them pretty regularly that I am like to please tell me I'm not training my replacement by using this AI, which they always assured me, oh no, of course not. We would never replace you, a person, with AI. And after about 2 years, they laid me off and replaced me with the AI that I trained. So that I've been using, because basically by using it, I was training it. And so yeah, so that's why I'm no longer a copywriter, because these days for copywriters, the only jobs are either training an AI or they're offering about what most of us were making when we got out of college. Uh, but I like what I do now way better, to be honest. I don't like sitting down all the time, and I feel like that's all I used to do when I was a copywriter. I would sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, and I hated it. Uh, like I make a lot less money now with my day job, but I am a lot happier. I don't wake up hating what I'm going to do every day. At least, not I didn't hate being a copywriter. That was the wrong way to put it. I just didn't like the sitting in the desk part. So and oh, Jeffrey, what stuff do I make? Jeffrey, I make all kinds of stuff, my guy. I make custom zombie apocalypse battle bats. I make cosplay props. I make vampire stakes. I make practice swords for Asian and European martial arts. I make bow stabs. I make all kinds of stuff. If you go to my bio, you can find a link to my eBay shop that has all of my listings in there, and you can see it's a lot of stuff. I make all kinds of stuff. It's made out of wood, and it's a weapon. I probably make it, or if it's a practice weapon, I probably make it. If it's a prop, I either make it or I will make it as a custom order. Mostly, I do prop weapons. I don't do super complicated stuff. There's a lot of people out there that are already really good at that kind of stuff. I occasionally will make something that's a little complicated with LEDs and sound effects and that kind of stuff, but that's pretty rare. Yeah, it was. I agree, Peck. It was very cold blooded. The company I work for, it's funny because in my career, I'd often work for companies who were like, oh, yeah, we're a family, right? They say that all the time, and it always felt like bullshit. But with this company, I actually felt like it seemed to me like that was really how they felt. Turned out that wasn't the case. Uh, yeah, I worked my butt off for them for over 2 years, about 2 to 3 years, and the AI that they made me use ended up being my replacement. But I feel like it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I do like what I'm doing now better. I miss the money for sure. I had a lot more financial breathing room when I had that job. I do not have that anymore, which is why I'm moving to a less expensive shop here pretty soon. Because the shop's not really paying for itself like it used to, which wasn't really as big of a deal back when I had a lot of money, which I don't anymore. Oh, the Crocodile Dundee knife. I mean, I could do a plastic one, most likely. Wizard wands. I don't make wizard wands. I could make wizard wands. Um, the reason I don't is there are a lot of shops out there that already do that. Which, by the way, this is my child-sized Donatello staff. This is I make several different kinds of Donatello staves. This one is meant for children. It's 4 feet long, about the size of a Joe staff. It's thinner. It's made out of a less durable wood on purpose, because we don't want kids beating each other with these. It's mostly meant to be a costume prop. This particular one, I put the wrong stain on it, so this one's probably going to get auctioned off instead of sold at full price, because I screwed up and put the wrong stain on it, which means I had to put a different cord wrap on it. to make it contrast. So you guys will probably see this up for auction later today. But yeah, I can make wands, and I have done one. Um, Normally when I make wands, I don't use a lathe in my shop yet. I at some point plan to, but for right now I don't have a lathe. So I tend to, if I find a piece of wood that will work as a wand, I can do that. Um, I usually will use natural wood, so that kind of has that natural curve to the branch. Uh, it's very hard to find one at the right thickness for a wand, because it has to be thick enough to hold its own weight, and but thin enough that it looks like a wand, and that can be hard to find, but you can find them. Then you got to strip it, sand it, stain it, seal it, all that stuff, and it looks really cool. But I feel like I try to make stuff that other people aren't making. For the most part in my shop, there are a lot of places out there that are making wands, and I don't feel that I would be able to make wands in a way that would compete with the people that are already out there. Do I make any mythology weapons? I mean, yeah, I have Monkey King cudgels in my shop. Sun Wukong. It's funny. I started making Monkey King cudgels years ago on the shop, and they would sell every now and then. They weren't really big sellers, and then all of a sudden, like a couple years ago, I got a rush on all of my Monkey King cudgels, and it was crazy. I was selling like multiple cudgels, Monkey King stabs a week, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I realized, oh, there's this video game, Black Myth Wukong, that had come out, and people were really on Monkey King kicks, and so I those were big sellers. I still have those in stock. I don't sell as many of them now. I think the um, kind of the hype has died down on the Wukong thing, but I also make vampire steaks. I don't know if that is exactly a mythological weapon. It is, in the sense that it kills a supernatural. It's meant to kill a supernatural creature, but I have probably the largest selection. I have been always been, actually, I should say, obsessed with vampire hunter movies. I love vampire hunter movies, good ones for the most part, even a few of the bad ones. Um, so I have probably the largest selection of vampire hunter steaks you'll find anywhere. I've got them for as cheap as like $16 to as expensive as $100 on my shop. Actually, I have a few that are a little over $100 a piece. Those are my custom one of a kinds, are about 100 to 115. They're on sale right now though for 20% off, so they're about 90. Uh, and then I have my limited edition steaks that sell for about 100 at full price. Those are also on sale right now at 80% off or 20% off, so they're about $80 right now. So, but they're always made out of a really nice, like strong exotic wood, or a wood with supernatural properties. And but this year I did a limited edition series of steaks out of Ipe, and I've done a series of one of a kind steaks out of rosewood. Those are all available up on the shop right now. What is a Monkey King weapon? Well, Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, is a character in Chinese mythology. He's their trickster god, I guess is the easiest way to put it. He's also probably the most immortal character in all of mythology. Like the dude is so OP that like he straight up can't die. Like most of his story, he just went all around the world and did shit to make himself unkillable. Uh, but yeah, like, and here's the thing. He has like armor. He has a staff that he can make grow or shrink. So like he can shrink his staff down to the size of a toothpick and stick it behind his ear, and then he can pull it out and make it grow. If you've ever seen Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, his staff in that was based on the Monkey King. Well, Dragon Ball just in general was based on the Sun Wukong character. Goku, anyway, is somewhat based on the Sun Wukong character. Um, but he carried a long staff, which is a type of cudgel, a studded cudgel. There are different kinds. His cudgels never really like given a detailed description. So you see a lot of different kind of versions of what his cudgel would look like. But yeah, But it's funny though, even if like if you were to take away all like he ate the peaches of immortality, he has the armor, he has a crown, he has weapons, he has all this stuff that makes him strong and unkillable. But what's funny is if you took all of that away, you still couldn't kill the Monkey King because at one point the Monkey King went to the underworld, and when he went there, he found the book of life and death, right? Which is where the names of people who are going to die and when they're going to die and all that stuff is in there. Found his name and erased it. He erased his name from the book of life and death. So you can't kill the Monkey King because his name's not even in that book. So even if you were to kill him, uh, he wouldn't die. Or if you were to do something that could kill him, he wouldn't die because he's not in the book. Like there's literally no way to kill the Monkey King, which is why he encountered the Buddha at one point finally because he had caused a whole lot of problems, and the Buddha made a bet with the Monkey King to it told the Monkey King if he could jump across his palm, that the Monkey King he would acknowledge the Monkey King as being an enlightened being. So the Monkey King goes to jump, right, and he jumps as far as he possibly can, and he thinks he reaches the end of the world. And when he reaches the end of the world, he finds these 5 pillars, right? He walks up to one of the pillars, writes his name on it, and takes a piss on the pillar, right? And then he jumps back, and there's the Buddha, and he's like, "There, I did it." And the Buddha's like, "Actually, you never left my palm." The Buddha turns around, and the Monkey King's name is written on one of his fingers, and it smells like pee because he pissed on his finger. And as a result of losing that bet, the Monkey King gets encased in stone for like 500 years. And he doesn't get let out until a bodhisattva needs to be escorted to the east to obtain some sacred sutras. And so that's his penance to be set free. He has to escort this holy man to recover these scrolls, along with a guy named Pigsy, who's was a cannibalistic robber who was cursed into the form of a pig, and a sea spirit and a water spirit named Sandy. Oh yeah. Hey, what's up, DJ? Welcome back. I see you're still on Mom's account. Good to see you, DJ. Nice haircut, sort of big. Thank you. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Vampire Killer? Very German, yeah. It's. I used to have a full mohawk, but the back part started getting on my nerves, so I got rid of it. But hey, good to see you, DJ. Hey, thanks, Zachary Peck. Yeah, the No Brainer bat is one of my favorites. That one's on sale right now too. That one's I think it's on sale for like 120 bucks. Your stepdad found a kitten, DJ. That's pretty awesome. I got some cats at home. All right. So there we go, guys. This is my kid-sized version of the Donatello Ninja Turtle staff. So this one's going to go up for auction because it's got the wrong stain, so it doesn't fit with all of my other ones. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the wrong stain. It's a lighter stain and a darker paracord. Still looks good though. But that'll go up for auction later today. Give me a second here. I got to take a look at these daggers here to see if they are dry enough. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Got to make sure they're dry enough for me to cord wrap without getting fingerprints all over them. There we go. And let me get the Pahoa. There we go. And then after I do these, I've got a set of Raphael Sai we're going to get set up. Thank you. Yeah, Bo is the name of the long stick. Oh, okay. Yeah, Monkey King is Chinese mythology. There's a great book. Actually, it's a little bit of a hard read because of the way it's written, called Monkey or Journey to the West uh, by Wu Chang'an. Um, it's a great book. Tells you a whole story of the Monkey King. But there's tons of movies and comic books and stuff about the Monkey King. But yeah, I know. So the funny thing about the Monkey King story, Shozi, is that um, the time that it was finally written down by Wu Chang'an was a time of isolationism in China, and they weren't allowed to write new stories. Uh, Writers were forbidden from writing new stories. They didn't want new stories, and so Wu Chang'an was trying to find a way to write a story that would inspire people to rebellion without writing anything new. But the Monkey King had been around in Chinese mythology for a really long time, and the stories that he wrote in there were well known in Chinese mythology. So he wasn't technically breaking the law. So he wrote Journey to the West or Journey to the East, Journey to the West, and when he wrote it, um, unfortunately for him, the people in power weren't super thrilled that he wrote it because they kind of figured out what he was doing, and he was killed for having written it. For the most, well, we think we're pretty sure he was killed for having written it. No one's entirely sure, but we're pretty sure. That's a cool dagger. Thanks, thanks, DJ. The hammer spear. Oh yeah, yeah. My vampire hunter hammer stake spear. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. I love those. Pahoa is a Hawaiian dagger. Yeah, that's this right here. That's a pahoa. Kit Kats, what's up? Mama's lemon pound cake. Your cat broke your curtain, DJ. That's crazy. But yeah, it shows you this is the Pahoa dagger here. These here are a Tongan Maori design. They have more of a leaf blade type shape. These are probably better for the stabby, but you probably the repeatability of the use of these, uh, while good, is not nearly as good as the repeatability for a Pahoa dagger. A Pahoa dagger has no blade; it only has that pointy end. It's got a tapered in handle so that it kind of squeezes into your palm when you do that, and it has a hole in the bottom for a wrist loop. Whereas the Maori Tongan ones, these were more of a last resort type of thing, I think, because that leaf blade design, even if you use a super hard wood, eventually that's going to give. This, however, you could probably go stabby all day with that, and it would probably not stop working. Oh, he jumped on your curtain, DJ. That's crazy. Shows you're learning. You're learning about lemon pound cake. You're you're back, DJ. I didn't know you left, man. You were watching your live stream and then disappeared. No worries. That's all good. First, right here, we're gonna see if I can thread this very, very tiny hole. I gotta lick it to lubricate it so it goes in the hole. Anyway, we're gonna continue. There are children here. What's wrong with you people? I said it's funny. Like I swear, I always put that my live streams are not for kids, but somehow kids get in here. All right, let's see. We may have to burn it up a little bit to get it tapered enough to go in that hole. Nope, that is not going to work. All right. Where did I put? There it is. All right. So we're going to do this. Because apparently I used a very small drill bit. It seems like I may have accidentally used one too small this time. So I'm wondering, that's probably not going to be enough to thread through. All right. Hold up, peeps. See if what I've got that will actually fit through here. I think all my cordage is too high of a gauge to fit through that hole, and it is far too late for me to do much about that hole. Oh, I see what the problem is. How the hell did I pull that off? There we go. There was tung oil in the hole. That may have been part of the problem, which is good. You want tung oil in the hole, but you don't want it. Okay, that's way too frayed now. All right, let's see. Where did this go? All right, now let's see if it'll go in there. My stuff is always too big to go in the holes lately. What can you call me, DJ? You can call me Nate, Nathan. Either of those are fine. Yeah, it shows you. I think a lot of people had that experience in the video stores back in the day. You could get just close enough the door to peek some of those covers. A steak sword that goes with a fried egg shield. Vampire breakfast. Steak and eggs. That's funny. I like that. You call it steak and eggs, an egg-shaped shield with a vampire steak. That would be funny. Steak and eggs. I already have the vampire bat. Like, I'm all about puns. You're singing to the choir here, my man. I like the way you think. Well, I hate using. I guess honestly, it's more accurate to use sinew than it is to use jute cord. So we're gonna use sinew. That's a little too long. There we go. The only problem is sinew is really waxed string, and waxed string does not like to hold, which means I'm going to have to do multiple knots. To make sure it doesn't come apart. See if I can get one more. Well, that'll be good enough. Let's see if it stays. It does. All right, there we go. Now we got a pahoa with a wrist loop. Woot woot. And they can adjust that when they get it. They can cut it shorter and adjust the length to where they want it. Oh, that's the last thing I have to thread today. So that's good. All right, put this up. Yeah, the steak and eggs idea is funny. I like that. You're welcome to steal it. You like the dagger and the Ninja Turtle one? I don't know which one we're talking about there, DJ. Yeah, if you want it for a custom order, I'll definitely make it for you. You know, the eggs part would probably look better as like a small buckler. Like that would look cool. Like an egg, like a look, make it look like scrambled eggs or like a over easy egg. On I could paint it like an over easy egg and make a little buckler type shield out of wood with a steak, and then it would be steak and eggs. That's hilarious. I love it. I love me a good pun. I think I was my boss next door. He usually comes in on Sundays at some point. All right, okay, I gotta. My area here is getting a little messy. I gotta clean this up a little bit. There we go. I'll shove that over there for now. Oh, the staff one. Yeah, yeah. That's the child size Donatello staff. Yeah, those are already available in my shop. That one's going to go up for auction. So if you wanted to get it cheap, it's going to be going up for auction later today on the shop. When does my live stream end, DJ? It ends when I'm done. I've got these two daggers to cord wrap, and then I've got a set of Raphael Ninja Turtle prop sai that I need to handle wrap with some faux leather, and that's probably going to be the last thing that I do today. So I'll probably be on maybe another 30 minutes to an hour tops. I would be surprised if I'm still here at 9:30 because I want to go home and watch a bad movie. Plus, I got to put all this stuff up on the shop first. I got to take pictures and videos of it and write a description and do all the math to figure out how much it's going to cost, how much the average shipping will be, add that to the cost. Like, I got to do all that stuff. Can I tell you the shop? Yeah, the name of my shop is Warrior Wood and Props. There, DJ. The same as the name of my YouTube channel. You can go to eBay and find it. If you go to my main account here on YouTube, you should see links in my account description. And you can click on that, and there's one that says eBay shop. Click on that, and that'll take you to my eBay shop. That's where all my stuff is listed. Don't go to warriorwoodandprops.com because that's my Shopify store that doesn't work anymore, and Shopify sucks. They have no customer service at all, and I'm gonna keep bitching about it until they either fix it or let me cancel my account. I finally contacted their support via email and thought I had some hope because they replied to me and asked me a few questions. I sent them that information and said, look, if you can help me get my shop back, that's great. But if you can't, could you put me in touch with someone to help me cancel my account? And I got a reply email saying, thank you for contacting our support. There's no support ticket for what you replied to, which is weird because the guy that replied to me said that he was replying to a support ticket. So I am so sick of Shopify. If I had known what a pain in the ass this whole thing was going to turn out to be, I never would have used Shopify. I do not recommend them at all. They are terrible. Do I do giveaways? Not very often. No, I don't do giveaways very much. For the most part, I just auction stuff and sell stuff. The only time I've ever really done book giveaways is when I had a book, or when I've done giveaways has been for books that I've had published in the past. I've done giveaways usually when a book is being released, but as far as my shop, no, I don't really do giveaways. Paint the steak to look like bacon. That would be funny. Well, you know what I could do? I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. Like I was thinking if I could cut it in like a wavy pattern and then sharpen one in. That would look kind of cool. But I think it would be a pain in the butt to hold. I don't know. But here's the issue though, because then it's bacon and eggs, not steak and eggs though, so it messes up the whole pun. Oh, I know. Well, that's the thing. I have been doing that. I've been sending email after email after email. I finally got a reply from somebody in their support saying, "Hey, I got a support ticket for you. Let me know what your problem is. Here's the support ticket number, all that stuff." He's like, "Reply to this email and we'll get you sorted." I replied to the email and got an immediate automated reply that said, "No support ticket found for this." And that was it. Shopify can suck it. They suck so much. Like, and here's what's weird is that like my shop was doing just fine until I went on vacation for a month in the summer, and I had to like temporarily disable all of my listings. And then when I came back from being gone for a month, I couldn't get into my account, and it was telling me to use an authenticator code from my authenticator app. But here's the problem: my account has never been synced to an authenticator app, so there's no authenticator for me to get a number from. And the only way to do that is to sync my account to an authenticator, which I can't do if I can't log in to my account, which is a pain in the ass. Yes, I do make custom stuff, DJ. I do make custom stuff. I do custom orders all the time. I do custom battle bats. I do custom props. My recommendation is just to contact me, let me know what you're thinking, and I will let you know if it's, first of all, if it's something I'm capable of doing, because sometimes people come to me with some crazy stuff and I'm like, that's a really cool idea, but I just don't have the gear or the know-how to make the thing you want. But if I know how to make it, I will make it, and I will let you know what the estimated price range is going to be for it. Usually for estimates, I give a range. If it's your first time buying a custom from me, I do take a deposit. If it's over $100, I take a $50 deposit. If it's under $50, I take a 10% deposit. So at 10% of whatever it is you've ordered, I need a deposit for that item. I used to not take deposits, and I had a lot of people come to me for custom stuff, and then I'd get it made, and then they'd be like, "Well, can you just send it to me for free?" I'm like, "No, I can't." So I don't do that anymore. Or they would just ghost me afterwards and not buy it. So, but yeah. If you go to eBay, if you go to any of my listings, DJ, there's usually there's always a button in listings that says contact seller. Use the contact seller button, send me a message on eBay, let me know what you want, or you can go to my Instagram at NATRBROWN37, or my Gmail, which is also NATRBROWN37, NatRBrown37 at gmail.com. And let me know what you want. And I will get you squared away. These Maori daggers are already up on or Maori Tongan. I always call them Maori daggers, but I found out that this particular style of dagger has been found both in Maori and Tongan. I think they're somewhat related cultures. The examples of these have been found. This particular one is a Maori replica of a museum piece. I had a customer probably about 3 or 4 months ago came to me with a picture of a museum piece and asked me if I could make an exact replica. So I did, and I really liked the design. A lot of times, if I make something custom, if I really like it and it's something I feel like I can reproduce, I keep making it. And I really like these. And oddly enough, these Maori daggers, originally I thought the Pahoa were going to do better, but I originally just made these Maori daggers when I had a cutoff that fit the dimensions. But they keep selling out, so I decided to make more so I can beef up my inventory, because otherwise I feel like I'm always making one. You would like a custom yellow dagger? You know what, my guy? I have the perfect wood for you. You're not going to believe it. Hang on one second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You want like a plastic dagger or like a wood dagger? Like a if you want like a cosplay like costume safe dagger, or you want like an actual like stabby dagger? I don't know. How old are you, Deej? I can't remember. How old are you, DJ? I know you're a kid, but I don't know how old you are. Stabby dagger. So you can. Well, here's the thing: with a wood dagger, you can't really carve with a wood dagger. You can stabby with a wood dagger, but the blade doesn't really. But if you want one kind of like this. Let me show you what I can use. Um, I've got a perfect wood for something like that. So this is it's, I don't know how yellow it looks on camera, but this is called yellow heart. It is actually naturally yellow, this wood. And once it's been shaped and sanded up really well, the yellow really comes out. And then when you put the tung oil on it, it darkens it up and the yellow really pops. But yeah, this is yellow heart wood. It's a naturally yellow wood, so it doesn't have to be painted. And the color will never fade because it's the wood. The wood itself is the color. A fried egg buckler and small shield and steak. It would depend on what the steak's made out of. Like if you don't care what the steak's made out of, it would probably be in the like probably $60 to $85 range for that. If it's a small buckler, that's as long as I would probably do like a web material strap, uh, so that you can just wear it over the hand. Uh, but yeah, that would probably be 60 to 85, somewhere around there. If you wanted like a really nice wood for the dagger or for the steak, then it would probably be more expensive. The wood type really makes a difference. But if you don't care what wood type it is, you just care that it looks good, then yeah, I could probably do it in the 60 to 85 range. You're 10, DJ. DJ, I can't sell you stabbies, buddy. I'm sorry, DJ. Like if you got a parent that wants to come to me and talk to me about it, that's fine. But I'm sorry, DJ. I can't sell stabbies to 10-year-olds, buddy. That's a no go. Sorry, bud. You gotta be at least 17 years old for me to sell you a stabby. So, or you gotta have your parents come and do it for you. Because yeah, that's your parents have got to be involved on that. I can't make stabbing weapons for 10-year-olds. They tend to frown on that. Well, I'm sure your cousin's 9 and has a dagger. I'm sure he does, but like that's probably because his parents got him a dagger, which is fine. If your parents come to me and they want to buy you a dagger, that's up to them as your parents to buy a dagger for me and give it to you. But I can't make a custom stabby for a 10-year-old. That will get me thrown in jail. Yeah, I could definitely get thrown in jail for that. Like if one thing goes wrong with that, bro, I'm at best I'm going to jail. At worst, I'm getting sued into oblivion. So we're not gonna do that. Sorry, bud. I hate to burst your bubble, but it's just I gotta follow the law, and law says I can't sell stabbies to 10-year-olds. Your mom's gonna get it. All right, that's cool. Then have your mom contact me on eBay, and we'll get that worked out. Okay. How did that get bent? That's weird. Has that always been bent? I guess it has. All right, what else do I have? All right, can't do the nunchucks. Can't do the blowgun. Yeah, this is annoying. I got to go back to the drawing board on my nunchuck design. I think I just need bigger holes. The holes are too small. Oh, right. I got to do the Raphael sigh. Let me go grab those. But first, let me make sure I've got this. Oh, no, not that. There we go. Oh, that's real leather. Don't want that. That is also real leather. Oh, actually, that's going to go with this. All right. Or that's going to go with that. Let's see. That's not going to fit all the way around, is it? No, not quite. That's all right. We'll worry about that next week when I can actually make darts and try it out. Your mom's going to think about it? All right, no worries. Squirrel! It's a Jesse. Your name's Noah? I don't know who Noah is, DJ. I'm not sure. Noah's your mom? I need some context. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm gonna need glue. Oh, and I'm gonna need my heat gun. Give me 1 sec. All right, I got my heat gun. Not gonna need that just yet, but when I have it on hand. Oh yeah, and it would probably also help if I had the actual side themselves. That would probably be useful. There we go. So these are my prop Raphael side. They are made of rubber, injection molded rubber, completely safe. They have an aluminum paint job. It's very bendy stuff, so the paint won't crack when you bend these. They are completely foam and plastic, so they are totally con safe. They look real on camera, but up close you can tell that they are a prop, which is always my goal. When I make con safe stuff, I want, if a con security guard looks at you and sees your weapon, I want them to look at it and go, oh, that's not real. But from 6 feet away, it looks real. Even a few feet away, it looks real. And if you're wondering what I'm using here, this is it's a faux leather that's used for badminton handles. Uh, it's made of foam and plastic. I need to go over it one more time. And once it's been treated with a heat gun, it looks very good. All right, there we go. Now we're going to cut this. And, well, actually, let's glue it down and then we'll cut it. Oh, wait, no, I did that wrong. Shit, never mind. It cannot wrap the center yet. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to do, there we go. Now we can go here. I got to do both prongs before I do the wrap around in the center. Oh shit. Oh, there it is. Oh, you little bastard. Get out of there. And alcohol wipe so it doesn't stick to my fingers. There we go. And stay. Yes, it is. All right. All right, so that's one prong down. We got to do this twice, you guys. All right. Now, I think this might be enough. We're going to find out. And the important thing when you're doing this is to stretch it just enough to make sure it stays tight, but not so much that you stretch it and leave little marks in it, or you stretch it and tear it. You don't want that either. Oh, please be long enough. There we go, almost. We're almost there. Oh, it's going to be just enough. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That was exactly enough. There we go. Now I got the prongs. Oh, don't you do that. Ah, you little son of a bitch. You lied to me. Hold still. So, James, am I a rapper? No, I am not a rapper. James, if you go watch the original live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which is what this is a replica of, Raphael Sai have the prongs wrapped along with the handle. That's why I do it that way. But you are correct. On traditional Sai, you do not, for the most part, I've never seen it done anywhere else except in the Ninja Turtles movies, where the prongs are wrapped, which is the only reason I'm doing this, is that these are movie prop replicas of the original live action Ninja Turtle movie. That's the only reason that these prongs are wrapped. But that's why I'm doing that. Your name is Dex now, DJ? You've gone from DJ to Noah to Dex. Which is it? I don't even know. So anyway, shit. All right. We're gonna have to re-glue this. I don't know why it's not sticking. I don't know what the deal is here. What's your problem, little rap? You want a piece of me? You want some of this? I don't think so. All right, stick, you little bastard. See, this is why I use alcohol wipes, because otherwise it sticks to my fingers. But the alcohol wipes, I think, were wiping off too much of the glue, and it wasn't sticking. There we go. Now it's on, I think. I hope. There we go. Yeah, I know. People always. I remember I had one time a couple weeks ago when I was doing my Friday staining, Jeffrey. Uh, I opened up. I forgot to grab my can opener, and I opened up one of my stain cans with my pocket knife because I didn't want to have to stop everything to go to the next room to get a can opener. And this one guy's like, if you were a pro, you wouldn't be using a can. You wouldn't be using a knife to open your cans. I'm like, are you serious, man? Yeah, people will critique just about anything. That's all right. No, my name is Nate. Nate or Nathan, not Noah. DJ. Nate or Nathan, not Noah. And I don't know. I still don't understand. Your Dex? I thought you were DJ. Yeah, thanks, Jeffrey. Yeah, it's but I understand your point. Yeah. Like you don't really see that with traditional Kobudo sai. You don't see that kind of a wrap at all, for sure. All right. Oh shit. I fucked up, but not too bad. All right. So first I gotta do this part. And then we're gonna do this part. There we go. And then we got the cross wrap. And we're gonna cut that. And we're gonna glue that in place. And then once I get these all wrapped, I will go over it with a heat gun, and the heat gun will darken and shrink up this faux leather. It makes it look way more realistic, and it also kind of melts everything a little bit, just a tiny bit, just enough to kind of shrink wrap it all in place so everything is tight and nice and brown and looks weathered and aged like Raphael Sai should look. There we go. We got the cross wrap done. Now we're going to do the bottom. As always, if you're doing a wrap on a handle with a tape, you always want to start at the bottom of the handle and work your way to the top of the handle. Otherwise, your overlap is facing the wrong direction and your hand's going to start pulling the overlap down, which you don't want. All right, there we go. Oh, I missed some stuff. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I know a lot of people open paint cans with a utility knife. Oh, your nickname is Dex. I got it. There, DJ. Have you ever watched Star Trek Next Generation? Yeah, I was there when the old magic was written, my friend. I watched Star Trek Next Generation on television when it first came out. Yes, I did. It was a long time ago. I haven't watched it in a while, but yeah, I did. I watched it. Uh, oh yeah, razor blades. I go through a lot of razor blades at my day job, usually scraping like wood filler and stuff like that. But yeah, dull blade will cut you. Matter of fact, like the back of my hand here, this was a wire brush that did this. Like I was using an angle grinder to wire brush off some rust and got the back of my nickname or got the back of my hand with it. The dull blade will cut you. Oh, your nickname is DJ. Dex is your name. Gotcha. That makes sense. So DJ is your nickname. Did I have Nintendo DJ? Yes, I did. I had a Nintendo Entertainment Center, uh, and I had a Super Nintendo eventually. Yeah, we were probably honestly, my brothers and I were probably the last kids in our neighborhood to have a Nintendo Entertainment Center or entertainment system. We didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, but my mom, we had one Christmas that my mom basically sat us all down and was like, "Hey, if all three of you agree that this is your Christmas present, then I'll get it for you." So we were like, "Yeah," because by that point we weren't really doing the Santa Claus thing anymore, and so yeah, we all got one. Yeah, I played Contra and Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt and all that jazz. Contra was probably my favorite game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. My older brother and I, we found the cheat code, the Konami cheat code back in the day, and it was like it was a whole world opened up to us when we found that cheat code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start, and you were basically had like 100 lives, and that was awesome. Can I make a batleth out of metal? No, but if you wanted like a prop batleth out of wood or plastic, yeah, I could do that. I would just need to find a big enough piece of whatever, whether you want plastic or wood, and cut and shape it, and then probably paint it and do the handle on it. It would be expensive, but yeah, I could make a batleth. You're talking about a Klingon batleth, right? But yes, I could make one. I've never made one, but I'm very familiar with the batleth, and I think honestly, I think it'd be pretty fun to make one. Yes, DJ, you're absolutely allowed to have a Ninja Turtle plastic thingy. Yes, these are prop rubber side. These are perfectly legal for me to sell these to you. They're Dex slash DJ. These are fine. It's just actual stabby stuff I can't sell you. All right, let's do the other one. Like this, for example, DJ. Like this is a small ninja sword that I made last week. That's going to go up for sale today. This is all plastic and foam and paracord on the handle, but it is 100% safe. This is just a con prop, and yeah, but this kind of stuff, I am more than able to sell you this kind of stuff. I just can't sell you actual stabbies. I can't sell you anything that you could actually harm yourself or others with, because we're not really supposed to give children lethal weapons. They frown upon that these days. A rubber dagger? Yes, absolutely. I make rubber daggers all the time. I mean, it depends. Jeffrey, whether or not you want wood or plastic depends on what you're planning to do with it. If you want it for like a wall hanger to look really cool, I would go with wood. If you're planning to take it to like a convention or to use it as like a costume prop or something like that, I would recommend plastic, because a lot of times wood, even if I make it where it's not really like sharp, there are a lot of conventions where the security will not let you through with something that is made of wood. It kind of depends on the object. It depends on that. Like a plastic bag, why would I don't know. I wouldn't really want to make a plastic bag. You want it out of wood? Okay, yeah, I can do one out of wood. That wouldn't be difficult. I mean, it wouldn't be easy, but yeah, and also because I don't use laser cutters. I don't use auto routers in my shop. I hand shape everything and hand cut everything. I even used to make these the blanks for these, but I stopped doing that because it was too expensive and difficult. Um, I got a guy that injection molds these for me now, and it's a little more expensive than making them myself. But because I think I ruined as much product as I successfully made, I feel like the fact that I don't have to worry about ruined product by buying from him. Uh, the blanks for these are pretty awesome. They're just injection molded rubber. Okay, yeah. If you're gonna display it, then wood. Yeah, I could go with wood. What I would probably do is like a 1/2 inch thickness of either like oak or plywood. Probably plywood would be the easiest way to go, just because it's going to be least expensive and it's going to be the easiest for you to. It's going to be light and less expensive. Um, but yeah, I could do that. And then I would use either real leather or faux leather for the handle wraps. That's entirely up to you. Obviously, real leather more expensive than the faux leather. But yeah, hit me up on. You can go to eBay, go to any of my listings on my eBay shop, and use the message seller button, or you can hit me up in DMs on Instagram or TikTok, uh, or you can email me at natrbrown37 at gmail. Any of that will work. All right, you gonna hold? All right. Oops. Put the lid back on here. How much would it cost you? I'd have to do some math on that, Jeffrey. So for custom orders, the thing I tell people is probably usually my custom orders for big stuff starts at about $100. So it would kind of depend. I'd need to do some math, but you're going to be paying at least $100, if not more, for that. It depends on a lot of things, on how long it's going to take me, how much my material costs are going to be, all that. So I got to sit down and do some math on it. But probably at minimum, you're looking at $100 or more. I have a lot of people that contact me for custom orders, and they'll contact me and they'll have a really cool idea, and but it's something really complicated, and they're all about it until I tell them how much it's going to cost, and a lot of times it's weird. They'll be like, I was expecting closer to like $50, and I'm like, $50 for like the shipping for the thing that you're wanting is going to be probably about $50. Do the faux leather? Yeah, yeah. Hit me up on eBay, Jeffrey, and I'll get you taken care of. Probably take me 1 to 2 weeks to get something like that knocked out for you, but we can get that done. And the fun thing is, where my YouTube is. You're gonna see it getting built on my YouTube anyway, because I post everything I'm working on each week on my YouTube channel, so you can follow how it's going. So yeah, hit me up and we'll get it figured out. Just got to figure out like length and dimensions and all that stuff. So if you can figure out like, mostly I need to know what size you're wanting, that kind of stuff. Uh, that's the kind of info that I'll need to make sure I can get you an accurate estimate. And if you got any pictures of like any particular batleth style that you prefer, send me those as well. The more examples I have, the closer to what you want I'm going to be able to get. But yeah, they'll do the faux leather. No worries. The faux leather, the way when I do it, by the time it's done, you can't even tell it's faux leather. All right. I try not to waste this stuff, so I try to use as much of it as I can, even if I have little pieces. That's how I keep my costs down. What waste not, want not. All right, so we're gonna have to glue both of these down. That's all right. Let's not knock over our glue. Oh, you like Wharfs? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can look that up. Does Worf use the same bat'leth throughout the whole series? That's the thing. Sometimes I got to be careful with stuff like that because I'll look up Worf's bat'leth and it'll be, like he used a different version in this movie or he did a different version in this season. So any pictures you can send me will definitely be helpful. You got distracted, Shozy? You don't know what happened? Same size for the TV show? Okay, I'll do some research and figure that out. I'll look at it. I'll try to look at it later today. And yeah, hit me up on eBay, Jeffrey, and I'll try to get you an estimate by like Monday or Tuesday. You want a battery? You want a battery on what? There, DJ? I have no idea what we're talking about. Did I miss something? You want a dagger out of plastic with a battery in it, like with lights in it or something? That's what I'm trying to figure out. To do something like that, DJ, that's going to be a little more expensive because I'm going to have to do that out of resin instead of just forming it out of plastic, which means I got to make a model. I got to make a mold of that model. I have to pour resin and put an LED light in it and all that stuff. So, that's that all that definitely gets expensive the more I have to do with that kind of stuff. So it depends on what you're wanting, bud. See if I can get this done before all this stuff starts peeling off. And there's also like a plastic coating over this stuff that most people take off. I leave it on mine because it helps with the browning when I do the heat gun. And it helps it shrink up and does much better. That may have been too short. Let's see. Can I get... There we go. Get that covered. There we are. Piece o' cake. All right, here we go. Oh, don't do that. Please do not get glue on my scissors. Not on the nice ones. Not on the nice scissors, please. All right, there we go. Oh, the batarang. Gotcha. Batarang. You want a batarang from Batman made out of plastic? I can do that. That's fine. We'll hit me up on eBay there, DJ or Dex, and we'll whichever name you want to go by, and I'll get you squared away. If you want a batarang, I can do a batarang out of plastic for you. And again, it kind of depends like what style of batarang you want. You know, that's what we also got to figure out because there's a lot of different iterations of the batarang over the years. Because like you got everything back to the old Adam West style batarang from the Batman movie up to the new Dark Knight stuff and the Robert Pattinson film. So we got to figure out which batarang it is you're wanting and all that jazz. But you want me to paint it yellow? But you want a little bit of black on it, right? At least you want it black and yellow, right? Because that's more the Batman colors. The real Batman movie? Oh, well, there's been a lot of real. You mean the one with you mean like the 1990 one? Is that what we're talking about? Like the 89? I think it was 1988. I think it was 88, 89, somewhere around there. Is that the one we're talking about? Oh, thank you, Cody. Yeah, that one. Okay, yeah, we can do that. I can take a look. I don't know if I'll have a grapple gun or anything to go with it, but I can take a look at that. And but yeah, hit me up on eBay and we'll talk about it and we'll figure it out from there. Michael Keaton, yeah, Michael Keaton Batman was pretty damn good. Like in my house, I kid you guys not. Like we had a whole summer. This was back in the day when my family had a VCR. We rented videos a lot. We very rarely bought a movie, and it was a big deal when my parents bought a movie. And my mom bought the VHS of Batman when it came out. And that was a huge deal in our house because we never bought VHS tapes. And that whole summer of that next year, we called it the daily dose of Batman. We would literally watch Batman every day. We watched it at least once. All right, sounds good, DJ. Yeah. Tell your mom to get a hold of me, and we'll figure it out. And I'll get you set up with a batarang. Not a problem. But yeah, we watched, and I'll tell you what, dude. As far as Jokers go, like Jack Nicholson's Joker scared the shit out of me when I was like 11, 12 years old. He was a freaking scary Joker, man. When I was a kid, I was terrified. These days, he doesn't seem all that scary, but as a kid, there was something unhinged about his Joker. You know, the fact that he had real acid in a flower and stuff like that, like it, you know, and had burned people's faces, and there was just something terrifying about Jack Nicholson's Joker when I was a kid. But I think they've done a lot of really good Batman movies. Which I think is karma because you know, let's be honest. The Adam West ones were good in a campy, fun way, but they weren't the Batman that most Batman fans love. You know, what I always hated is the fact that, like, in that period of time, the or the show's popularity affected how they wrote the comics, and they made the comics campier and was sillier. Yeah, it was so creepy. All right, we gotta wait for this to heat up real quick. There we go. Come on, heat gun, heat up. I hate that I can't see well with my glasses on up close. There we go. Just had to get it to the right temperature. All right. Now you can see how it's darker and more weathered and looks more used. But it looks like this needs a little more glue on this piece right here. You little shit. You little shit. Stop sticking to my finger. Oh, that may have to get cut. I don't know. Hold tight, you little bastard. Hold tight. Yeah, it shows you this is actually it's a very nice newer heat gun type. It is. I use the lower setting. It's a little louder with the higher setting, but yeah, the lower setting is definitely quieter. I try to use the lower setting on these so that it's not. I don't want to be too aggressive with the heat. There we go. All right, so there we go. Actually, you know what? I think I need to go higher. The weathering's a little uneven, so we're gonna try. Even that up a little bit. We want it to be uneven a little bit so it looks natural, but we don't want too many places where it's not darkened up or it takes out the illusion. There we go. There we are. So there we go. And now it looks like used weathered leather. That shininess goes away as it starts to kind of cool. But yep, there we go. Now we got one more to do. What time is it? Oh my god. One more and then we're done, son. And then I gotta go. I got other stuff to do today. Mostly like stuff I want to do. Silent heat gun on your end? Well, that's good to know. Don't end the stream. Well, I gotta end the stream at some point there, DJ. I got stuff to do, my guy. I gotta get all this stuff put up on the shop. And then I get to have a little bit of my Sunday so I can watch a bad movie, because that's my favorite thing in the world to do, is watch a bad movie. Bad movies are my jam. I haven't decided what I'm going to watch this week. I need to start deciding in advance what I'm going to watch. I was thinking about doing something Chuck Norris related, since we lost the great Chuck Norris this week. Breaks my heart, you guys. That man has been middle-aged my entire life. Like, I feel like Chuck Norris was middle-aged when I was born and somehow stayed middle-aged my entire life. And I tell you what, I think all of us Gen Xers kind of felt like Chuck Norris was going to live forever, man, because he'd always been around and it felt like he'd always been the same age our whole life. So there we go. We got another one, nice and aged up. Needs a little bit more right there. There we go. And there we go. We got our Raphael Sai. Will I get on later? No, my next live stream won't be until Friday, bud, but I will be posting a finished projects video later today. And then Monday, I will be posting my works in progress for next week. Those will be the projects I'll be working on next week. And then Tuesday, I usually post a video. This week on Tuesday, I'll be posting the final video for the Leonardo swords that I finished making for Power Trip cosplay. Those cosplay Leonardo swords, that'll go up on Tuesday, that video. And then I have my projects that have been shaped and ready for sanding. I do that video on Wednesday. Then usually on Thursday, I post a live highlight. And then on Friday, I post the stuff that I'm going to be staining. And then on Friday at 4 p.m., I have my Friday staining live stream, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays. And then I won't be on again until Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Now, guys, I need you to listen. Next week, I may not be on here. I will do a video to let you guys know if that's the case. For those of you who are new, I had a situation. I was in Texas visiting my son last summer. I came across a sexual assault in progress, and I stopped it. The gentleman that committed the sexual assault is now on trial, and I have to go testify possibly next weekend in his trial if he doesn't take a plea deal. I am still waiting to hear from the district attorney as to whether or not I'm going to be flying to Texas to do that. But if that does happen, then I will not be on next weekend. You're going to ask your mom? I know, dude. Chuck Norris, rest in peace. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Sensei, hey, what's up, Jacove? Yeah, I know, right, Chelsea? I know I hate to miss a week, but that it definitely needs to be addressed. I don't feel like it would be irresponsible of me to have stepped in and stopped something like that, and then when it comes down to actually putting the guy in jail, not being there to testify. I'm not a huge fan of our country's legal justice system, or criminal justice system, but at the same time, I am a less a fan of PDF files and creepers. So anyway, let's see what these Raphael Sai look like. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. I haven't made these in a minute, so these will go up on the shop today. These have been out of stock for quite a while. I finally was able to get some of the Sai. But they look great on camera, and they are definitely con safe. You can get these into a convention. Won't get you any trouble. Next week, I will be doing an Electra set of prop Sai. This week, I wanted to get the Raphael ones out of the way. Let me put this away real quick. All right, you guys. Oh, it is. Yeah, next Friday. I'll see you next Friday, hopefully. At the very least, Friday, I will probably do my Friday standing live stream. It's just Saturday is what I'm supposed to fly out, if I do fly out. So I will let you guys know. My shop will be closed if that happens. I will most likely close my shop on Friday at noon. My eBay shop, I'll just basically go on vacation mode. And I'm supposed to fly back on Tuesday, so I'll probably go ahead and reopen it like Monday evening. And then if you make an order Monday evening or Tuesday, I will get it shipped when I get back that day. Yeah, I know, right? Angry Peck. I would have thought I could testify through Zoom as well. This is in Texas. Apparently, during COVID, they did allow that. But in this last year, they've gone back to requiring in-person testifying. So, or in-person testimony. So I do have to go this time. I cannot do it via Zoom. I wish I could. I really was hoping that was an option when they called me and asked me if I would testify. I really thought, I was surprised when they told me they were going to fly me out to Texas. You'd think Zoom would be way cheaper, but you know, your tax dollars at work, people. But yeah, I was thinking, I was hoping I could testify through that, but no, I got to be there in person. So anyway, I'm gonna put this up and clean up a little bit here. I'm sure that's a great shot for you guys right there. All right. That was a blank for a Tenerashi Tessin I was making, and I had a slip on the saw. So that's going to get turned into a vampire steak because I don't really know what else to do with it. They put these up here. Oh, I'm so disappointed about those nunchucks. That's all right, though. We're going to start over. I think next week we'll get them knocked out. Oh. All right, you guys. I think that's about it for me today. I mean, we've gone over 2 hours, so I can't really do a show and tell this week. But if you like anything you see here, go to my eBay shop. There's a link in my bio here on YouTube, and also on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you're seeing me. You can always find me, find the link to my shop in my bio. But yeah, I will post my finished projects video later today. Everything that's not already on the shop will be on the shop by the end of today. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. I'll see you next.